impacts. And I'm still struggling with that. So one of the projects we're currently working on is building an additional module for routing optimization, but driven by the CO2 emissions. So the current criteria for the solutions that we use are minimum time, minimum distance. So in the EU, because they are building based on the smart city infrastructure, you have the low emission and zero emission zones being implemented in implementation phase. So for that to happen, the current solution does not address these requirements. So there has to be an additional layer that address the emissions so that the routing, for example, is defined by the zones acceptance for emissions. So we're building this additional optimization layer where the routing is being optimized based on the CO2 footprint of different vehicles. And we are already currently in the development phase, and the project got the Horizon 2020 grant. But when I tried to initiate something similar in the region, so we saw, okay, maybe we can start by communicating with the last mile logistics startup scenes and try to get them involved in such a problem, because this sooner or later would be, like, for example, the UAE is also addressing low emission zones. So maybe try to be a little bit ahead of time or on time, to be honest. So we thought of creating a report first about the impact of last mile logistics emission on Cairo. So to do that, we had to start by creating an official map for Cairo with the official zones, الأقسام الرسمية. So this didn't exist, and we had to start from there, and then building a population distribution layer, an updated population distribution layer, because of the lack of access to data and how hard it is to access the data. And then getting everyone involved into a sustainable layer of looking at the impact of the growth of another startup, let's say, domain. So no one wants to, sense the problem, because if you mention that these type of, let's say, motorbikes, because basically the growth of the delivery in the region is based on motorbikes. So what's the impact of that on the environment?